and welcome back to my channel. I want to give you a bit of a life update as well as talk about my channel a little bit and a bit of a channel update as we go along. And I just want to first off apologize for this kind of being a bit of a rambling video. I tried really hard to kind of write an outline and get some of my thoughts down, but this is part of the problem that I'm having right now, is that I'm having a real difficult time organizing my thoughts and getting things together, and because there's just a lot going on in my life, and yeah, and I'm struggling with that. The other thing is that I am very uncomfortable showing vulnerability, and I'm a little bit vulnerable right now. So if I'm rambling a little bit, or it seems like I'm, at a loss for words, it's just that I truly am. And I have a hard time presenting myself and what I want to say in a way that makes me feel comfortable, but also is, I'm able to get my point across and get my thoughts, out of my crazy head and over to you. So I apologize if this is a little rambling, and kind of, I will try my hardest to stay on track as much as possible. We do have Fiona sleeping back here, so you're probably going to hear her snoring quite a bit throughout this. She's a pug, so she snores a lot. But yeah, let's get right into it. So as you know, we moved to Hawaii about 2 years ago, and it's not been a great experience, to be very honest. I'm very hesitant to go into the reasons and the details as to why we're unhappy here, because I know how it makes me look. I know that it makes me look like a spoiled brat for saying that I don't like to live in Hawaii. It's, it's everybody's dream to visit here and to maybe live here. And I'm happy to have a discussion one-on-one, but I'm not really comfortable kind of putting it out there in the world of all the reasons that I'm unhappy here, because I know that it's always taken taken in a wrong way, and unless I actually get a chance to sit down and fully explain it to people, I know it comes across as, just being a spoiled brat that doesn't like to live in Hawaii. But I will tell you that it has been a bad experience overall. We are not happy here, and it's definitely been weighing on me. I've never felt like this before. I've never been so unhappy living someplace that it has literally just seeped into my soul. On top of that, the pandemic, and just our lives, everybody's lives, just being, kind of thrown up in the air, and we're all just kind of still juggling, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. That I've lost my luster. I've lost my inspiration. I'm losing my motivation to want to do things, to want to create things. And I'm really struggling with doing the things that I love to do, which is this channel, my blog, a lot of my social media stuff. In the last 6 months, I think it's really hit me really deeply how unhappy we are. And it's starting to, unfortunately, kind of flow over into the other parts of my life, with my work, with my content. My husband and I are just fine, by the way. None of that is a problem. He's just as unhappy here as I am, so we have that in common as well. But yeah, so one of the main reasons that I started this channel was because when we first moved here, we knew how expensive it was. We knew that I was going to have to get a job, just to keep us at a level that was comfortable for us, so we had enough money going into savings for our future. We are not destitute by any stretch of the imagination, but we wanted to make sure that we were still comfortable with our savings, and just, you know, being able to live the life that we like to have and that we are accustomed to. So I did get a job, and then of course COVID hit and lost that job. And then it was just, you know, very clear that I wasn't going to get another job. I did briefly have another job, and I felt very unsafe there because they were not following the COVID protocols, and it wasn't worth it to me. My health and my safety was not worth that job. They weren't paying me enough to have those protocols not in place. So I ended up leaving that job, and in turn I started this YouTube channel, and I wanted it as a supplement to my blog. I have been writing my blog now for 8 years, and I love writing my blog. I've very much enjoyed it. It's kind of gone through, you know, ups and downs where I have more time and more inspiration to write things. When I was living in Europe, I felt like I had just a plethora of content and information to put out there. But since we've been here, and, you know, not only with just not being happy living in Hawaii, and then the pandemic, I don't know, I've really lost a lot of my motivation and a lot of my inspiration for keeping up the content and just coming up with ideas. And so I started the YouTube channel for 2 reasons. I mean, I definitely wanted it to supplement my blog, and I wanted to have another outlet, but it was also a way of, I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified to start doing YouTube channels or YouTube videos. I don't like my voice and I was scared of how I looked on video. Being a plus size woman, I have learned how to pose myself in photographs. So, you know, my face looks thinner, or, you know, my arms look thinner, whatever. And on video, you can't do that. And so I know it's vain, and, but again, this is a vulnerability that I'm not comfortable talking about, really. But yeah, that was a big thing, that I didn't want to show my size. I didn't want to show, what I looked like all the time. Video is very different than photographs. And so I kind of wanted to get out of that idea. I wanted to, you know, as I'm getting older, I really care less about what people think of me, and I've never really had that problem. I've always had a pretty high confidence level, but yeah, there was just this something that was stopping me, and I wanted to overcome that. So I pushed myself. When I lost my job the first time, or my first job, I thought, you know what, I have all this time on my hands. Let's just do it. So I did. I started doing some hair tutorials, and, you know, ideas were constantly coming to me, and it was pretty easy, and I felt very comfortable with it, and I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with it now. So yeah, so that's a big reason why I started the channel. I had no idea that it was going to grow as fast as it has, and I'm utterly grateful for the support and for my subscribers and everybody. I mean, I'm not huge. I'm definitely not a huge, you know, YouTuber. But I was monetized before a year. I think I was monetized within like 10 or 11 months, which I was not expecting at all. I totally expected this to kind of slowly grow for a couple of years. And then by the time our time here in Hawaii was done, I would be somewhere that I could actually make the content that I want to make. And then I expected it to get bigger and grow and be monetized and all that stuff, but happened a lot quicker than I had expected. And thank you all so very much for that, because the income has been very helpful to me. But with that growth so quickly, it also kind of put a lot of pressure on myself to keep that going. So there's a, you know, I have learned so much about YouTube and how it works, you know, how the algorithm works, how you get paid, how, you know, what works, what doesn't work. And I am constantly trying to put content out there that is useful to you, valuable to you, entertaining, that also rings true to me and what I want to provide. There's, you know, I hear YouTubers all the time just say, like, just make what you want, make it, and people will come find you. And yes, there's an element to that. But there is a sweet spot of, you know, what you want to make, what is important to you, the content and information that you want to provide, and what the people want. And, you know, you can't always do one or always do the other. Like, you have to be able to find that middle ground of the authentic content, the authentic information that you want to provide. And it also happens to be the information that the people want and are enjoying. And so that's the hard part, is to find that sweet spot. I have been struggling lately with, you know, some of my videos just flopping altogether, which is totally understandable. Those things are going to happen. It does kind of hurt the algorithm with your videos, but, you know, it is what it is. It's all, not every video is going to be the viral, and I definitely haven't gone viral with any of my videos. But it's, you know, it's a trial and error, and I really kind of expected this time right now, like from the time I started my channel to now, I really expected this to be kind of my trial and error moment, and where, you know, I maybe didn't have as many subscribers, and I could make mistakes and it wouldn't be as noticeable, I guess. But you know, my channel grew faster than I had expected, and so you guys are all watching me learn. You're watching me learn new editing techniques, learn new filming techniques, and trying to figure out what not only works for me and the kind of content that I want to put out, but what you guys want and what you want to see. And I'm kind of struggling with that right now, because the content that I really want to provide is, I would love to do more vlog type videos. The problem with that right now is that my life is incredibly boring. And I just don't think that you guys want to see my like daily routine and my, you know, my life the way it is right now. It's pretty much the same every day. It's very boring. Not a lot happens. I very rarely leave the house. And you know, and because I watch a lot of vlogs, I enjoy watching people's lives. I know it sounds weird, but I enjoy that. And so that's the kind of content that I want. But I also feel like I don't have the entertainment factor to provide that for you. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that I live here and I'm not happy here, and there's just not a lot to do. It definitely doesn't flow into my like vintage lifestyle. And so, yeah, so that's why I don't provide any, you know, any like vlog type videos. But I want that to change. I do want that to happen in the future. So, I do enjoy doing my hair tutorials, and, I like doing fashion videos. It's strange, the videos that I have, like, I've asked, you know, what do you guys want to see? Like my the catalog, you know, I've so many people keep telling me, yes, I want to see more of the catalog, but then when I put the video out, it totally flops. Nobody's watching it. So I am still trying to figure out what it is that you guys want to see and what is comfortable for me to provide to you. So and being here and being so unhappy here, I really just, I've lost a lot of my inspiration. I don't feel motivated to create content. I can't come up with ideas that I find interesting, let alone what I think you guys might find interesting. So I'm struggling with that right now, and I apologize if some of my content lately has been, you know, a little off or strange or whatever. I don't know. I'm still learning things, and I'm still trying to figure things out for myself. But I love your comments. I love the feedback. I would love, you know, I want to hear from you guys. Like, what is inspiring you right now? What are you researching? What are you looking into? What are you wanting to learn? You know, because I'm constantly wanting to provide information. I don't 100% want to be the like how-to gal. I know that, you know, with my hair group and stuff, that is a huge portion of the education that I do is for hairstyles and just, you know, how to do normal vintage hair. And I love that. I love that aspect, and I'm incredibly honored that I'm seen in that light, that people come to me for those questions and everything. So, but I just, you know, I'm constantly wanting feedback from you, from my audience, of what you want to see and what information is inspiring to you. What are you learning about? What do you want to learn about? Yeah. So I'm reaching out to you in that regard to kind of, I don't know, talk to me a little bit more about what it is you're looking for. I have so many ideas of what I want this channel to be. And that kind of brings me to my life update, really. So we are moving. We are finally moving out of Hawaii. As of this filming, we are moving back to the DC, Virginia area. There are some things in the works that could possibly change that, but the fact is we are moving from Hawaii no matter what. And I am extraordinarily excited and happy about this. And one of the biggest reasons that I'm so happy is that I get to have a fall. We were moving sometime in October, and so I get to have a fall again, and I'm so excited about that, you guys. You have no idea. But what I'm more excited about is that I'm really hoping that this is true. I'm hoping that I will have just more opportunities for the content that I want to provide to you. So moving out of Hawaii, I feel like there will just be more opportunities for me for different content. And it may sound strange, and I know we're still in the middle of a pandemic, so, you know, events and going out and stuff like that is not going to happen right away. But there's just more opportunities for us to, you know, go on small road trips, go to antique shops, go to vintage shops. I have missed that so very much. I can't even tell you how many like flea market trips I watch on YouTube just because I miss it so much. I want to provide that kind of content. We are, as of right now, we're planning to fly to the West Coast with our dogs, and because our one dog is really old and quite large, she's 125 pounds, we're actually going to fly to the West Coast, and then we're going to drive across the country with her because we really can't keep her in a kennel and fly. It's already going to be, you know, a 5-hour flight from Hawaii to the West Coast. We don't want to do that again across the country. So we're going to drive, and I really hope that we can film a lot of that travel. We're not going to be able to stop a whole lot because we do have the 2 dogs, and we just, you know, we're just going to want to get there. But just being able to drive across the country, I'm hoping that we can stop a few places and see some cool things and take you along with us, and just, you know, provide that kind of a content. I miss traveling so much, and that was that was really what I wanted for a channel. I wanted to be a travel channel in Europe once we got back to Europe, and show you how, you know, as a vintage inspired person, how we travel, the places that we go, the, you know, antique shops, flea markets, and everything that we go shopping. I feel like my content is a little different from a lot of the other vintage creators out there, because I don't live my life every day as a 1940s or 1950s housewife. I just don't. I live in the year 2021. I love technology, and I dress in vintage, and I love old things in my home. But no, I don't, you know, I don't live my life as a vintage person per se. I very much love the history, and I love learning about that. But yeah, I mean, you're never gonna see a 1950s housewife series from me, because it's not me. I'm not a 1950s housewife. I'm not a 2021 housewife. So that's not the content that I ever want to provide, because it's not authentic to me. But I do want to continue to provide education and doing tutorials showing how to dress a plus size body in vintage style. I want to help educate people on you know, on different styles, on how to wear certain things, how to start in wearing vintage. That's the kind of stuff that I want to continue to provide. But I also need feedback to know, like, is that really what you want to see? I mean, it's one thing that I want to provide it, but now that this is actually a business for me, it's important to, you know, I hate to have this idea of, like, you know, how many views do you have? How many subscribers do you have? But, you know, when it's part of your business, it is important. It's important to know that. It's important to have it. It's important to make sure that the content that you're providing is successful. And so it's really important to me to know what it is you guys want, and how you want it presented. Do you like the vlog type stuff? Would you prefer to have that kind of content? I don't want it to be just a one-trick pony. I want to have a variety of things. But yes, I'm always wanting to hear your feedback and wanting to know what it is you guys want and what you want to see from me. So I hope this wasn't too horribly rambly. But yeah, the big news is we're moving, and I may take some time off here and there to, you know, while we're moving, while we're going through the process, and not post anything, but I'm hoping to stay on schedule. I will admit that I'm filming this the night before I'm publishing, which is not normal for me. I usually, you know, do things like a week ahead of time, but again, I've been struggling really, really hard with staying motivated and coming up with inspiration, and just not being happy. And I don't want to show that on camera, I guess. It's really hard for me, again, to show my vulnerability, and I want to be a light. I want to be joyful. I want to, I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't want people to feel uncomfortable about any content that I have. So to me, I'm just like, you know, I'll just don't film anything, because you're not feeling it. You're not your bubbly self. And yeah, so that's why, you know, I decided to just put this out there and kind of deal with my own feelings of vulnerability, and hopefully you guys will understand. And that feel free to put in the comments, and, you know, any kind of information or content that you would like to see, or just let me know if you're just even enjoying. I do get comments in general when I ask questions And you know, it's my channel has been growing steadily, which is fantastic. I'm incredibly happy about that. I have set goals for myself for the next year, or for the end of this year. I'm hoping to hit 5,000 subscribers. And I have been incredibly fortunate to have had a paycheck from YouTube every month since I got monetized. So that has been amazing. It does help tremendously that you guys actually subscribe to the channel and watch the ads. I know they suck. It's just a way to help support all of your YouTube creators. It's a very simple thing that you can do. And yeah, it's incredibly helpful to us to have that those very simple gestures of, you know, subscribing, liking, commenting. YouTube algorithm is really fickle, and it, you know, like I said, I have learned a lot about YouTube and how things work. And it's those little interactions that are really important to a YouTube channel. So whether it's my channel or any other YouTube creator, just know that those little gestures are incredibly important, and they're very needed in order for a channel to really get recognized, and for YouTube to want to push that video or that channel and excuse me, channel in general out to the algorithm to be seen. And that's really, you know, that's our point to doing all of this, is that, you know, we're putting information out there to be seen, to be interacted with. Most of us in the vintage YouTube community are here because of the community, because we do want to create a community, and we love you guys, and we want to have relationships in that sense of, you know, communicating back and forth in the discussions, and, you know, following on other social media platforms. I love hearing from you guys. I love having questions from you. It's what we're here for. That's part of the reason that we do this, is so we can create a community together. And so yeah, I would love to hear more from you guys, of even if it's just a hi, even just to say hello. I try very hard to answer all of the questions that I get from my YouTube channel or YouTube videos. I don't always answer just the, you know, the general statements, because I don't really know what to say, to be honest. But if there's a question, I will answer it. And if it's something that I don't know off the top of my head, I will find that information and I will provide it to you at a later date. But I will always answer, and I really do appreciate all of the comments and all of the support that I get from you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that my continuing content, you know, any changes that may happen, I hope that you will continue to follow me. It will always be vintage related, no matter what the type of content it is or the format. It will always be somewhat vintage related, because that's just the part of my life that I want to share and I love. And but, you know, maybe travel, maybe vlog type, I don't know. We don't know what's going on in the future. Hopefully with this move, I will get my mojo back, and I will find more inspiration as we go along. So I just want to thank you so much for following me up until this point, and hopefully in the future. And if you haven't yet, I do really encourage you to subscribe, hit the notification bell. It is remarkable when I look at my analytics on how many people watch my videos that aren't subscribed. And again, it is a simple gesture that is really incredibly helpful for all YouTube creators. Doesn't cost you anything. It's you know, it's helpful to you because you do get notifications when we put out our videos. But yeah, it's just a simple gesture that is incredibly helpful. So I really encourage you to please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you like this video, like it, and please leave a comment below, and hopefully we can have more conversations. And thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable and be uncomfortable about it. And I will keep you guys posted on the move and hopefully bring you along on some of the craziness that goes along with moving from Hawaii to Washington, D.C. So thanks again, and I will see you again soon. Bye.